John, what should people do if they see someone in trouble in the water? Is it safe to just approach them and see if you can help?
Look, that's such a good question, because most people's instinct is to just help immediately and to go and render assistance, and it's exactly the wrong thing to do, unless you have a flotation device or something that you can pass them. Ideally, if you see somebody in trouble, try and locate a lifeguard or someone like that. You can phone on your phone 112, and but that may not, depending on how remote you are and where you are. These are things we say, as a very last resort, do you actually enter the water? So rather, if you can throw them something that floats, as I said, a soccer ball, a 2-liter Coke, anything that floats, a surfboard, that's first prize. Once they are floating and not struggling to stay on the surface, then you're going to figure out how to get them back. But only as a very last resort would you actually enter the water, and you would certainly never approach somebody without some kind of flotation device which you could hand them. Because if you swam up to somebody to help somebody that's drowning, what they're going to do is they're going to climb on top of you, and they're going to push you under the water to try and keep their heads above water, bearing in mind that they're in a full-on flight or fight mode. They believe they are in the process of dying, so they will do whatever they have to do to try and stay alive.
Wow, John, we always, notice that, many people watch TV series, movies, and the person comes out of the water and boom, they start administering CPR. When and should a person consider doing CPR?
Okay, so CPR is done when somebody has drowned already, okay? And you want to be absolutely certain that the person has drowned and not had a blackout before you start doing CPR. So you need to check the airways, you need to check that there is no pulse. If you start doing CPR on somebody who still has a pulse, you can damage their heart. So you would not, you would, look, a person who's blacked out underwater and a person who's drowned underwater, they present very differently. A drowned person won't float, they will be completely gray. A person who's blacked out underwater, good chance they will still be floating because their lungs are full of air. And their whole skin color looks different. But if you haven't seen them, it's more difficult to know. That said, the first thing you would do is you would blow on somebody's cheek, you would tap them on their cheek, and you would say, John, you're at the surface, it's safe to breathe. If after 30-40 seconds of that, you haven't had any form of response and you cannot feel a pulse, then you would go into CPR. But you wouldn't go straight into CPR immediately.